Today I'm going to be talking about the anthology film Cat's Eye. Greetings and welcome back. I'm your host JJP, and if it's your first time here, thank you for visiting. I'm a big fan of horror anthologies, from Dead of Night to the Amicus Portmanteaus, to name a few. Do cats really sit on your chest and steal your breath while you sleep? Let's find out. But first, it's trivia time. Who is James Norton's younger brother? Stay tuned to the end to find out. And if you like what you see, please like, comment and subscribe. I know it's an old film, but possible spoilers ahead, just in case you haven't gotten round to watching it yet. Cat's Eye was released on the 8th of November 1985 and was directed by Lewis Teague, who also directed Cujo, made in 1983 starring Dee Wallace. The screenplay was written by Stephen King. Cinematography was by Jack Cardiff, with music composed by Alan Silvestri, who also composed music for Back to the Future in 1985 and then would go on to composing music for The Avengers in 2012. Cat's Eye stars Drew Barrymore as our girl Amanda, James Woods as Dick Morrison, Alan King as Dr. Vinnie Donati, Kenneth Macmillan as Kressner, Robert Hayes as Johnny Norris, Candy Clark as Sally Ann, and James Norton as Hugh. There are 3 segments: 1. Quitters Inc., 2. The Ledge, and 3. General. Cat's Eye opens with our feline protagonist waking up from a cat nap and going for a stroll, where Stephen King fans are immediately treated to a couple of cameos, first by a certain Rapid St. Bernard, then by a murderous red and white 1958 Plymouth Fury. The first segment starts in New York after our intrepid feline friend hops a ride on a truck. Shortly after seeing an astral projection of a little girl pleading for help, he is picked up by a man who works for Quitters Inc., who takes him in. Then we meet Dick, a happily married man with a young daughter played by Drew Barrymore, who is trying to quit smoking. From the very beginning, you start to realize that something is very off with this company. Their methods are less than conventional, to say the least. The lengths the company goes to get people to quit smoking, and the penalties for giving in to temptation verge on assault and torture. The poor cat is used as an example of what will happen to Dick's wife if he succumbs to temptation. The scene is uncomfortable to watch, as it involves animal cruelty, so viewer discretion is advised. During the party, we see Stephen King's imagination let loose, as Dick tries to fight the urge to smoke. It is bombarded with surreal imagery and some very comical scenes. The company also has a weight loss department, and a penalty for going overweight involves mutilation, mainly suffered by their partners. This is a company you will want to avoid at all costs.
Shove it up your ass, Hal.
The cat manages to escape and ends up in Atlantic City. After another astral projection from the little girl, we meet the villain of the second segment, a gangster called Kressner, who enjoys a good wager and bets that our cat will not get run over by traffic as it crosses the road. Thankfully, he wins the wager and takes in the cat. We then meet our protagonist, a washed-out tennis player called Johnny Norris, who is running away with Kressner's wife Marsha. After putting Marsha on a bus, he gets captured by Kressner's henchman, Ducky, played by Mike Starr, who some may recognize as Rock from The Last Dragon. Back at Kressner's apartment, Johnny is filled in on his dire situation. There are drugs and stolen money in his trunk, planted by Kressner's henchman. Not being able to resist a wager, Kressner makes Johnny an offer. Make it round the building on the ledge, and he gets to keep the money and Marsha. Failure is death due to falling from a higher rise. Whilst on the ledge, we encounter the pigeon, which turns out to be quite a character. Johnny eventually makes it round the building, even with all the obstacles that Kressner throws at him. However, his success is short-lived, as Kressner double-crosses him. During a confrontation between Johnny and Kressner, the cat makes its escape, leading us to the final story. After jumping on a train and hitching a ride on a pickup truck, he ends up in Wilmington, where the third and final segment begins. Here is where we meet Amanda, who's being stalked by a troll who has moved into her room. She takes to the cat, who she names General. However, her mum is totally against having a cat in the house. She already has a dislike of cats in general, as she believes what her mother says about cats stealing your breath while you sleep. When the troll kills Amanda's pet budgie, her mother immediately blames General. She captures General and sends him to the pet refuge where he is scheduled for euthanasia. In the meantime, the troll takes full advantage of General's absence and starts to steal Amanda's breath as she sleeps. While the troll is stealing Amanda's breath, we see Amanda's parents in bed, Amanda's mom reading a copy of Pet Sematary. Those Stephen King Easter eggs just keep coming. You wonder if he wrote the script. Oh wait, he did. Eventually, General escapes and heads back to Amanda. The troll gets his just desserts, and General becomes a hero we all knew he was all along, thus bringing this segment and the movie as a whole to an end, and answering the question of whether cats steal your breath as you sleep. This is a film which I first caught on late night TV, and I really enjoyed it. I love reading Stephen King books, and I tend to really enjoy his personal ventures into the world of film and TV, even though he has had the odd dud here and there. Which is your favourite Stephen King adaptation? Do let me know in the comments below. Now to answer the trivia question. James Norton's younger brother is David Norton, whom many will know as David, the titular American werewolf from An American Werewolf in London. Thank you for watching, and please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. I have been JJP, and I look forward to discussing films and shows that we are all passionate about. Hope to see you soon.